So today on Chatting with an Expert's Expert, boy, do we have an expert. Today we have Mr. Jason Griggs, owner of Griggs Team Real Estate. How you doing, Jay?
Let's go, man. Dude, great to see you. It's been a minute, huh?
It's been a while. It's certainly been a while. I mean, I'm used to seeing you on a soccer field, maybe a basketball
Yep.
court. You know, how's life?
Yeah, man. Life's great, bro. Life's great. It's kind of funny, right? How we turned into the same business relatively, right? Different coasts, but
Yeah.
it all started on the soccer field for us.
It did. It did. Yep. Belmore, Mepham alumni. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
so Jason, just want to thank you by taking time out of your day because I am one of your fans on social media. So I see you've been doing a lot of great content, been doing a lot of cool things from your real estate journey to your mentorship program. And it all started being a teacher.
Yeah, man.
How did you get
I
there?
did. So, well, you know, in Long Island, everyone wants to be a teacher, right?
Sure.
Both my parents were teachers, and that was kind of the route I was directed to go. I didn't know any other route. I moved out to Vegas when I was 21, finished grad school up, and just came here on vacation. Never really left. And I taught for a year. I didn't like it, and I started coaching lacrosse out here. Got involved with a really great program here in Henderson, and from there, I was given some opportunities by a lot of the parents. And one day, a parent was like, "You would be good at real estate. Like, you should give it a shot."
That's all it took?
And that's all it took, man. And I was instantly hooked into it. I ended up buying my own house out here, and along with many others, and I started moving people out to Vegas, and the rest is history.
And when did you start?
I started in 2015.
Okay.
So
And as far as your
we're hitting
portfolio
almost
now,
10 years.
10 years. Your portfolio now,
Yep.
what do you got? Tell the audience.
So I'm up to 27 rentals now. So it's been a journey. I started buying rentals about 5 years ago,
Okay.
5.5 years ago. And I think I got a little lucky. I invested in a market that really didn't explode until about 3 years ago. But yeah, I just love buying real estate. I love buying any type of real estate, rental real estate. It's been great. And just being able to expand it, and it's been a home run.
Nice. So do you prefer the buy and hold or the buy and flip?
Oh, buy and hold. Buy
That's
and
it.
hold. I don't sell any of my real estate. I've never sold a property.
Really?
I've done flips before. I've done flips, but I've never sold any of my rental
And what
properties
states are you
ever
in?
since I bought them. I'm in Nevada, Kansas City, New York, Mississippi, and I just got into Arizona.
Where are you located in New York?
So I'm in the process of buying my mom's house in Belmore, and I got a
Nice.
house in Massapequa.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Awesome.
Yep.
So now with that portfolio, I know you're a very talented guy, Jay, but you can't be managing that bad boy on your own.
So I manage all of my long-term rentals myself.
Really?
I've gotten pretty good at it. I always recommend, if you're going to buy an investment property, to do the first one by yourself so you can learn the ins and outs of the business.
Mhm.
And I've had a great success with it. Now, my short-term rentals, my Airbnbs, are a different story. Those are a lot more difficult, a lot more labor intensive. So we partner with a property management company
Got
to
it.
manage those. But all my long-term rentals, I do on my own.
Awesome, bro. Wow, great to hear.
Yep.
So now, as far as when it comes to that kind of business and your model, what's your biggest challenge?
Well, now the challenge is that rates are, and this is your world, right? Rates are really expensive. And so buying real estate and making it cash flow ready is not as easy. When I was buying real estate, I could buy anything and rent it for over the mortgage and make a ton of money.
Sure.
Now, with the rates into the sixes and maybe even the sevens, that's the biggest challenge of finding good deals.
Got it. So, how do you find your properties now?
Oh, all different ways. But social
Without giving
media
out all
is
the secrets.
no, you gotta give out the secrets. That's the best part about it. Social media is a game changer. Once people, because there's not too many real investors out there. Everyone says they're a real estate investor, but once you can prove that you actually buy real estate and buy a lot of it, it's amazing how many doors will open for you. So social media, Facebook groups, agent outreach. I have a lot of agents who will bring me deals on a consistent basis.
As like a
And to
wholesaler?
be honest, yeah, wholesalers will bring me deals. I'm not the big fan of like the direct marketing, direct to seller marketing. Like people will do mail or cold
Mhm.
call homeowners. I'm not. I've tried it. I haven't had good success with that. But it's just networking.
Got
I'm
it.
really good at networking, and by being a good networker, opportunities arise.
Well, it sounds like you started the networking with the parents. You were coaching, the parents loved
Yep.
you. Oh, hey, you'd probably be good at this. What do you
Yeah,
say to that parent
that's how it
now?
happened, man.
If that parent's listening right now, what do you say?
Oh man, I love him. He was a big mentor of mine. He was a big supporter. He really believed that I could do this business and do it well. And everything that I've got in this town has been through this lacrosse team and this lacrosse program, giving back to the kids and families. And people see that.
It's
People
amazing.
respect that. Yeah, people respect, somebody who wants to give back to their community. And so it's paid off.
Wow, it's amazing, man. So, as far as when it comes down to now your next level, right? What's next for you? What's on the goal list as far as what's going to be accomplished before 2024?
So I had a goal. So with real estate, it's hard to put goals. It's either a money oriented goal or it's like how many units can I buy in a year as an investor or how much money I'm gonna actually profit. So my goal was to buy 5 rentals a year, and I didn't make the goal big enough because I ended up buying 6 so far. So my goal is always to add to my
So far
portfolio
this
because
year?
the yeah, so far this year I've bought in 6 properties.
Okay.
So I got to make it a little bit bigger next year. But
Yeah.
the
You
whole
didn't set the
goal is
bar
to
high
just say,
enough.
no, I didn't. I didn't this time. But the whole goal in real estate as an investor is to set yourself up for long-term success. That's what any long-term buyer of real estate will tell you. And so that's just what I'm doing. Just chipping or hitting singles here and there to add to the portfolio.
Awesome, man. So, what is your biggest achievement right now? If you were to be in the mind or put us in the mind of Jason Griggs, what's mentally your biggest professional achievement?
I think with this past 6 months, we did a deal with the UFC and Dana White. And so
Please
one of my
elaborate.
properties, yeah, one of my properties, what my biggest Airbnb property, it's called San Gabriel. We The UFC hired us to use our house so they could film their reality TV show.
Wow.
And so the past 6 months they've been filming the Dana White's Power Slap and Ultimate Fighter, which Conor McGregor will be on in about a month and a half.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It was surreal.
So, how'd you get hooked up with the UFC?
So I
Networking.
have some friends who fight. Yeah, networking. Yeah, I have some friends who fight, but it's actually I play pool. I'm a big pool player. I play pool on Wednesday nights, and this one of the guys I play with, he works for the UFC, and he was like, do you use your house for rent it out?" He's like, "We're looking for a house for our show," and I knew what he meant because I'm a huge UFC fan, and I was like begging them like, "Please use it," and they ended up using it.
That's awesome. So now, do you work out in like a different contract type phase to where you have a legal team come in and make sure everything's documented and well protected?
So no. I did the contract all myself, man. Believe it or not. I'll be honest with you. I drafted up the contract. It's funny, right? A PE teacher, but I have my management license, and I drafted up a lease. Their legal team adjusted it a little bit, but it worked out.
That's
It was
awesome.
simple.
Now, are you just
Yeah,
licensed in Nevada, or you licensed in other
I
states as
am.
well?
I am, but it's funny. I'm working on my Florida one right now.
Very nice. Why Florida?
We got, I mean, we got so many friends moving there, right?
You got
It's
that right.
it'll be good to take advantage of. It's good to kind of be a little bi-coastal too.
Sure.
Just more networking, more. I have a lot of clients who move to Florida or Florida to here to Vegas. My mom owns a place in Florida, so I'll be down there more and more.
Yep,
And
yep,
I
yeah. My
figured why
sister
not?
bought. I closed on her purchase in Florida, February of 2020. So right before everything
Wow,
blew up.
right
Yeah,
before.
Jennifer did well. So,
That's awesome.
so now as far as you brought up your mentor earlier, or you said someone played into helping being a mentor in the past decade, who would you say is your best and biggest influential mentor?
My cousin Joe, and he's
Why?
from Belmore too. He when I told him that I wanted to move to Vegas, you have a 21-year-old kid, telling your older cousin like you want to do something very out of the norm. None of my friends were doing this, and he was so supportive. He was like, "Let's go, let's do it. You should get out there, do something different." He ended up buying me a little condo out there because the market crashed. He bought it for 50 grand.
Wow.
And he was really the motivating factor for me to go out there and get involved in real estate. He was like, you should be buying these properties, and teaching isn't it's a good job, it's a good career, but you can do so much more with your I guess I wouldn't say aggressive, but just my personality.
Sure.
And he was right. So he really kind of just threw me out there and was very supportive of it in the beginning.
That's awesome. So now, when you started on this journey, you just kind of let everyone know a little secret that you moved down there, someone helped you
Yeah.
purchase a condo, and then how did you take it step by step? Like, did it go into you possibly going back to cousin, family? Did you start to go to banks? How did you start to raise capital?
So, well, after I quit teaching, one of the parents got me a job at XS Nightclub. And if you're not familiar with XS Nightclub, it's the #1 nightclub in the world. And I went from making no money to making a lot of money in this nightclub because it was they call it the industry here. It's a massive, massive workforce. And I was making a lot of money. And I'm really good at saving money. So I started saving all my cash that I was making, and I ended up buying my own property, my own house here in Henderson. And I was just hooked from that. I bought my own place. I'm like, I'm gonna stay here. Um, my wife Sammy. I convinced her to move, and we relocated here full time. And I was like, look, I think I could do really well doing the lacrosse, and with this new career in real estate. And so I started as an agent, and then I quickly realized, with the help of my cousin, that the richest people, they're not agents. The richest people, they own. They own buildings, they own residential, they just own. And so that I don't know why it just clicked for me very early. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna save up as much money as I can and just start buying rental properties. And that's what I did. I haven't stopped.
Very nice. Now, how hard of a sale was it getting your wife Sammy to move to Las Vegas?
So it was a tough sale, man. And I'm pretty good at sales. I'm a good closer. But it took me, I'll tell you, it took me leaving Las Vegas. So I lived here for about 3 years, and I moved back home for about 5 months. And I was miserable. I hated it. It was kind of difficult to explain to somebody who's never been outside of where we're from
Sure.
that the grass is greener and there's just more opportunities. And I was right. I nailed it. She's been out here with me for almost 7 or 8 years now, and the opportunities for her also came with that. So it's been great. I think I'm up to 12 people, man, from Long Island that have moved here.
Wow. And the list goes
That's a
on.
lot. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's
it's
a
like,
lot.
and we're not stopping. We're not stopping. It's just, it's different, man. From where if you've never left Long Island, it's just a different world from where we're from, and Vegas is a cool place to live, man. And so it's not my home. I'm probably not going to leave anytime soon, and it's just fun.
Well, you said the grass is greener, so the desert is pretty much.
The
Right?
desert is greener, man. I mean, look, like let's give the viewers some examples here. So, like, you own a home. What's your property taxes a year?
13,000.
13,000. Okay, so when I bought my house, my property taxes were like 1,200. I think they're up to a sky high of 2,200.
Insane.
But we have friends that pay $40,000 a year.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I meant by that comment. That it's just a lot more affordable to live here. Now it's kind of freaking more expensive than Long Island, but when I first moved here, it was very cheap.
So now with you bringing people, you're up to 12, right? What's the goal as far as, is it just naturally encouraging that the cost of living is better? You could buy real estate for cheaper. Like what's the passion behind it?
I just think it's a lot of fun, man, living. I'm a fun guy, man. It's just, I mean, dude, it's like a full sports town now. Like, if you came out here, we got the Raiders, we got the Golden Knights.
Right.
They're bringing the NBA team. They're bringing the baseball team. I mean, it's into I'm a huge sports guy, so it's a mega sports town, and it's a lot of fun. And you could go to, it's very hard, like where we're from in Long Island, like there's only like a few places that you could go really network, our age. Like, you go to a couple restaurants here, but if you go to like a casino and just sit at the lobby bar, like you will run into some of the most successful people in the world. And it's just like, it's like a natural thing. Like it's a natural occurrence. It happens a lot. So I love that aspect of it, where you're just going to sit at the bar and there's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, or there's the owner of the Brooklyn Nets just sitting there having a drink.
Never thought about it like that.
They're cool, man.
It's a great point.
Yeah, it's a good networking place, and you're seeing a lot more entrepreneurs move here for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as when you say you being a big sports guy, we're both big sports guys. When you took that 5-month like trip to come down here, what were the intentions in that?
Well, I moved back for my wife.
Wait, is that when you were playing soccer and we reconnected at Hofstra?
Yep, that's exactly when that was.
Okay, so you came back to be with your wife, and then closed the sale, and then brought her.
I convinced her. I brought her, and then my brother came shortly after that, and then the wheels just started. I've been very active on social media ever since I moved to Vegas, and I just always wanted to just show people that sometimes people feel stuck in their bubble, and there's just no way to improve their life because where we're from, there's a lot of blue collar jobs, right? They're kind of maxed out. And so I just wanted to show people that I was in that blue collar job being a teacher and I didn't like it. And you can do something else and you can make more money and you can have more fun doing stuff outside the box. And so that's just what I did.
And Jason, you fit that like cliche of getting out of your comfort zone is really what's required to take your game, your level, your knowledge, your income to a whole nother level.
It's so true. Like if you're not, what's the saying? Like if you're not comfortable, then you're not growing.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I've always been just trying to, if you're not uncomfortable, right? So I just now I'm at the point where I'm talking to some big people, and I'm like, this is surreal. Like I can't believe that this guy has this much money, and he's asking me for advice on investing in real estate, and once the shock factor wears off, it's great.
Proud of you. Awesome to hear. So now if we're gonna go and we're gonna take Jason Griggs, and somebody comes up to you, right? One of these big wigs who's asking you for real estate, is in film and production, and now he says, all right, Jason, I want to write a movie about your story. Who's playing you right now?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I would, that's a good question. I thought you were going to go into the Big O with the actor and the rest. But I missed the Big O, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would play me, man. It's a great question. Maybe E from Entourage.
Okay.
That would be a good pick.
Okay. I'll tell you
Kevin
what.
Connolly.
We can have the Big O featured in it. He can be. He can have like a supporting role.
I miss that guy so much, man.
And
He's the
then
best.
we'd have Adam play himself though in the movie. He'd have to play
He's the
himself.
best. The guy's the best, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Kevin
awesome.
Conley. I'll go with him.
Okay.
He's,
Okay.
I'm similar personalities.
Awesome. Oh yeah, he was like a Queens boy, right?
Hmm.
Didn't come from much.
Didn't come from much, but he was like the level-headed guy, right? You know, he was like the guy who took over the group and was like we're here. This is a business. We're here to make money. We're here to be smart, and that's I've always been that way since I've been out here.
Yeah, he was always like the brains, like the smart, disciplined one when it came to financial decisions, right?
Yeah. And it's funny because like growing up, I didn't have anything, right? I didn't have money, so you have to learn. I'm sure you feel this way too. You gotta have to learn on the fly, because no one really taught us how to invest properly or how to manage properly. But now it's cool because once you kind of figure it out, you can help your friends. And so now I'm
Absolutely.
helping some professional athletes and some other friends of ours that we grew up with. Like, hey, like you need to park your money in real estate. It's a great investment.
Absolutely. I think one of the most rewarding things, like as far as what I do in business, even if you're, you and your team to where when you get a listing or you're helping out a buyer, I mean, one of the best feelings is to do the right thing over and over and over, and then your name and your reputation just gets spread like wildfire. Goes from one friend, and the next thing you
Yep.
know, someone you went to elementary school with, who's a teacher, now refers you to her teacher friends, and then you get referred to her husband, who's a cop, and then now you're doing NYPD mortgages. So it's just amazing to see
Yeah.
that trickle down effect, just from doing the right thing.
It's a great point. I've had great success with that, and just being active and vocal on social media and just showing people, like you mentioned, like don't share your secrets. And I'm always sharing my secrets. I don't care. Like I want everybody to win. That's like I've always been a team guy, and if I'm making money, I want the partners to make money or my friends to make money. And so this has been a cool avenue to show and showcase that.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, as far as when it comes down to that, when you look at yourself, let's go the next 10 years. Where do you see yourself?
So I would like to just continue to do what I'm doing. And I think I learned, I would say the past 12 months, that I just started to kind of go into different ideas and avenues. But I realized that I'm really good at buying and renting real estate. And it's a simple business. It's not that difficult. Anybody can get into it at any market in any state. And I've through networking, I'm pretty good at it. So now I'm kind of giving back and I'm showing other people how to do it. And so I'll give you an example. My next door neighbor, he's 20 years old. He comes to visit me in Vegas. I taught him over 3 days how to do what I do and network. And this guy went back to Belmore. He's working at Crunch Gym in Belmore. And he found a deal on Facebook. And we ended up with, this is my Gulfport, Mississippi house. And we've ended up buying two together very quickly. And he's hooked. And now this young man is making money. He's a personal trainer. He's making money on the side with real estate, and he owns two houses, and he's 21 now.
And you're his investor.
I'm his mentor, really, with
Mentor.
teaching him. But it's amazing how fast the kid caught on, and he's from literally the house next door, 708 Vernon Avenue. He's my next door neighbor. Known him since birth, and I was like, wow, if I could teach him, I could teach hundreds of people. And so that's kind of what I'm doing now.
So tell us more about the mentorship program. I mean, I'm following you. I see a lot of cool stuff that you're doing. But yeah, please tell the audience.
So when you are doing something that everybody else wants to do, it's kind of like you're the cool kid in town. So I kind of figured out the short-term rental business in Henderson. And the problem with Henderson is that there's a lot of rules. And so for like the normal person, it's too difficult to figure out. So you got to find somebody who knows what they're doing. And I became that person who knew what they were doing. And the issue was I was getting so many phone calls of, hey, how do I do this? Do you have time for an hour to show me how to do it? So I'm like, all right, let me just create a course, a mentorship course of how to do it. And so you film it once and then you could sell it 100 times if you want. But it's a cool thing that not a lot of people talk about, because I got a lot of people, especially in this business, as you know, that are kind of wishy-washy. Like they're like, oh,
Sure.
I want to buy a piece of real estate. but they never go through with it, or they're just like on the ledge, but they don't want to jump in the pool. So I realized that if I create something and I charge for it, that if they buy it, they're serious. And if they don't buy it, then they're not serious. So that's my business. That's what I did.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing that for?
It took me, I'll tell you what, that was probably one of the hardest things I ever did, because you really have to write a book. You write a book about your business, and then you have to film it and structure the course. But I've been doing it almost 8 months now.
Very nice. How's business been in regards to the
Business
mentorship?
It's been good. I have a little issue asking people for money. I don't know why. I just feel weird about doing that. But
you're
once
such a
you
nice
get over
guy.
that, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like it works, right? My system works. I mean, it obviously works because I do it. But I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people, I'm like, this guy, he's not gonna do it. Like, I just know him. Like, by talking to him, if he buys it, it's just not gonna work. So I'm like, I feel bad asking him for money because I
Yeah.
know it's like you're a good athlete, right? It's just like it's somebody who doesn't put the practice reps
Yeah.
in order to be great at it.
Gotcha. So I was just gonna actually, you took the words out of my mouth to where, how would you compare as far as the Griggs team, any type of partners you have, strategic partners, business partners? How do you correlate that to sports in your life? Because we're both very passionate about sports, big athletes, love watching sports, participating. I think also a cool thing is being a natural born leader really doesn't get taught. You just kind of learn how to be a better leader throughout the way. So how would you compare that?
It's a great point. It's not talked about enough, this topic, so I'll touch on it. Being a leader, you can't be a leader and just like be like a solopreneur, right? You have to actually mentor people and teach people. So I feel like I got really talented at it with coaching kids. I was 25, 26, but I'm coaching kids that are 18, 17 years old. And I realized that if you lead by example and you show up every day and you're on time, and they will follow what you're doing. And then as time went on, I started becoming successful in real estate. And so they saw me doing my real estate job, coming to practice every single day. They saw me buying houses, investing my money, being smart. And that, like, you can't put money on that. People just will follow. And what's cool is now my former players want to get into real estate. They want to help me with my social media. They want to be around somebody that's kind of successful. And so that is it's amazing position to be in. But I would always recommend to somebody to go and give back and go coach a team for, even if it's for 6 weeks, and you'll see like your leadership skills will get on point by coaching.
Right. But it's something you're passionate about too. You got to want it, right?
You gotta want it, yeah, and like you can't do it for the wrong reasons. Like I see a lot of parent coaches, they go back and they coach their kids, and that's great, but it's like you gotta look at the whole thing here. So let's say you, Mike, right? If you went and coached a soccer team, okay, you would have 30 kids on that team, but really you have the 30 kids and then the 2 parents each kid. Now you're up to over 100 people in a new network. And you would be able to close a few more deals a year from that new network. Now you multiply it every year, right? The kids would cycle through, and that's all I did.
That's awesome, man. So how long were you coaching for?
This is my 12th or 13th season doing
Awesome.
it. Yeah.
And they love you. Why wouldn't they?
I mean, I'm tough, man. We're hard-nosed New Yorkers, so
Yeah.
look, I just, the one thing about coaching and the one thing about being an entrepreneur is you can't really listen to other people's opinions. Like, you need to do what you think's best, and I've never wavered off that. Like, if I think it's the right thing to do, it's my way or the highway. And if you don't like it, then you could go somewhere else.
Right.
And that's a lot in New York, right? That's how we're brought up. And so it's a little different out here dealing with a strong personality like that. But that's just the way I rock with it.
That's awesome. So what happens if one of your players is too tired in drills and starts slacking off?
Look, I mean, The kids know. So I'll tell you what I did recently. Oh, no, not recently. So I coached high school for a long time, and I had an opportunity to go coach second graders. And I was so like nervous about it. And I was like, look, I coach 18-year-olds going to 9-year-olds. I don't know if I could do this. But that was the best thing I could ever done. And I coach these guys now. This is my last year with them because they're going to go into high school. They're in 8th grade. But I learned so much over this past 5 years of how to treat adults, 18-year-olds, all the way down to 9-year-olds, and how to deal with them and the parents and the dynamic there. But it's just, again, just showing up and doing what you think's best. Like, I have a great relationship with these kids now. They know what's expected of them. I feel like I could fast forward the maturity of kids a little bit better than some other people. I think it's just a talent that I have. And then when you get a kid that gives you 100%, and that's the expectation, it's a really cool just ability to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's got to be some talent, because from dealing with like the teenage egos and certain personalities all the way down to, middle school, elementary, completely different types of kids in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, and it's funny. I fell in love with the little kids way more. There's just less distractions. They remember when you were a kid, like they just love practice. They love sports. There's no outside noise really. That's what it is.
Life was
And
sports. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I
Till
miss
this
it, right?
day,
So it's like,
I would say that some of my most influential people were coaches in my life,
and that's
whether it
how
was wrestling, soccer.
It's a great point, and that's how I want to be to them. And I feel like I have accomplished that on a few notes, because these kids are coming back and they want to learn real estate. So I'm like, all right, now I got something here. I would love for all my kids to go to school and then come back and jam out some real estate with me. That would be really cool.
Awesome. You know what I'm going to love? Once my team is done with the editing and we have a few shorts and we get it on over to you and we start creating some good social media power, once this starts getting blasted out, I can't wait for some DMs and responses to be like, oh, shit, you and Jay,
Yeah.
They'd be like, wait, you guys still talk?
Well, it's cool, right? We're in the same business, right? A little bit different, but it's the same thing, right? I can't buy houses without your service and your job. And so it's pretty cool how you kind of connect the two. But I don't know, like growing up, like I don't know anyone else really in the mortgage or real estate business from our town. I don't know one person.
From our town, I would say I know of a few people around our I guess high school years for us.
Yep.
To where people who have gotten into some buying and holding, buying and flipping, maybe just like one or two, but no one who went like hardcore into like mortgages or being a real estate agent to where you hear about them all the time. But that's why it's good to see you killing it out there. I do what I can here, try and be the best version of myself out here. So it's awesome to see you doing your thing and just to be able to collaborate, and also looking forward to doing this again. So as far as
let's do it, man.
So my audience knows, how can they find you? How and where?
So I'm a big IG guy, Instagram guy at J Griggs Real Estate. I get a lot of messages, Mike, and I think that's so cool about social media. It's networking without having to leave the house. So I've bought houses from people. I've helped people get into their first home. And my favorite part is moving people to Vegas. So if you want to move to Vegas, I'm definitely the guy for that.
So you think the best way is social media, as far as Instagram? If they want to talk to you, have a conversation, pick your brain, find out some more, investing, Airbnb, slide on the DM.
I answer every single one of them.
Awesome.
Every single one of them
you
I answer.
Or your social media manager?
No, it's me, man. I
it's
swear to
you?
you, I answer every single one of them. I'm sure
do you get all your posts?
I'm sure you get a million questions. I don't. I hire a company to do it.
Yeah, same. I have a company as well, just to do the posting, the calendar. I mean, it's a full-time job.
Oh, 100%. It's social media is hard.
Yeah,
and it's
but
scary to do it. Your videos are great.
Yep. Thank you. But I feel like the commenting The only way it's authentic is if you actually comment. You actually comment, you post,
Yeah.
you answer those DMs. Yeah, brother. So as far as
You know what's
well,
funny, Mike?
What?
What was funny? Like I thought when I first started doing, I love like commenting back to like people who are haters, but like I haven't gotten a lot, man. I don't know what's going on.
I feel like they trickle in every now and then.
Like this guy. That's what I'm like. If I'm gonna do social media, I'm not gonna be full of shit. So I've just been
Yeah.
trying to been like
You know what's good? Like
stone cold.
a lot of people, I would say, in social media, when it comes to my particular industry and field, a lot of people who have good followers, get good press, who actually get business from it, right? Because that's the end of the day. At the end of the day, you want to add value by educating the viewer so that it comes back to where you can help them accomplish whatever goal they're looking to achieve when it comes to a mortgage. So,
Amen.
so when I got into it, I had my social media guy. He goes, I'm like, I think my gimmick could be dancing. I was a dancer at 16, 17, 18. He's like, what kind of dancing? I was like, no, I worked for an entertainment company. I did weddings, bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, MJ Usher, all that. And then we did our first shoot together last summer, and he's like, oh, you could dance. I'm like, well, I told you. I told you I could dance. And then he goes, we got to start using that. So now we're in a phase of just hiring another company just to really start taking it to the next level of like algorithms, boosting, and kind of getting that dancing content to the next level. So the good thing is I've had a few people make their comments as far as haters like you, very, very rare. Never had anybody criticize the dancing. Never had anybody criticize that. I'd say bring it.
You're an A+ dancer, right? They're the best I've ever seen. For sure.
You know what I've had?
No, but you're gonna love the social media, man.
Yeah. You know what I've had too? I've actually had two friends that we went to high school with, to where they went and they did a dancing video with their kid. And then DM'd it to me, and they were like, you see, I was showing my kid your videos. So they started playing a song and then sent it on over. So that was
awesome.
super cool just to see.
That's freaking great.
And then they're like, keep it up,
Yeah,
But listen, brother.
If there's any haters, man, I'm sending the big O right after them. I don't want any nonsense.
Nobody wants to deal with the big O. Nobody.
No way.
He's going to love this too. You know what I'm going to do? On one of our shorts, we're going to collaborate it with him. We'll bring him in.
Of course.
Yeah,
we got to get the Big O back to Vegas. I mean, he's the biggest closer in town.
The biggest closer. The biggest closer. I got to get him on here.
I love it.
You want to talk about an expert's expert? I mean, we got to talk about how you get to leg pressing 1,000 pounds.
Dude, have him bring his belt, shirt off. Let's go. Closing deals, the Big O.
I don't know. He might scare some people in the office when he comes in. So, he's been in here before. He's been in here before.
He does his closings, right?
Well, he's been in here, and then people are like, I'm like, it's not a client, it's a bodyguard.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I could go on.
But Jay,
we should do another podcast.
Absolutely, brother.
Let's do
Absolutely.
it.
So thank you for taking the time out of your day. Jason Griggs,
My pleasure,
Griggs
man.
Team Real Estate. Love to see you killing it, brother. Looking forward to talking to you in the future, having you come on again and just talking about how you're continuing to take over the world. Well, Nevada first.
Let's do it, man.
And then the world.
The Vegas first. Let's do it, man. I appreciate it, Mike. Glad you're kicking butt as well. And I will see you soon, my man.
All right, brother. Thanks, Jay. Later, bro.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. You good, Mike?
Good?